Welcome to the Good Life, where life is always good. My name is Kurt, and I want to thank you for joining me today on my ride to work. If you're new, could you please give me a like and a sub, and I greatly appreciate it. If you are returning, could you give me a sub? And in both situations, I greatly appreciate it. Well, today is what's today's date? August 26th. 2026, and on yesterday, August 25th, the world lost a great musical icon in Dolly Parton. So many of my childhood memories goes back to my parents listening to this country western station, and that country station was very much in rotation with at the time, the 2 or 3 other stations that we had in the 80s. But the movie 9 to 5 was probably one of the first movies that caught my attention. But her music would last on forever. Dolly Parton will always be embraced by the community. She will always have a permanent invite to the picnic. I was just listening to some of her music last night, and even before I hopped on here, and the woman could sing, and just the things that she did for the black community. And when she let Whitney Houston redo "I Will Always Love You," she made millions. I'm talking multiple millions, upwards up to 200 million, I think. It was a lot. But she took that money and she built a mall, and she named it, I believe, "I Will Always Love You." It was in Memphis. No, I'm sorry, it was in Tennessee. I'm not sure exactly where, but great woman. Watching some of her interviews last night on I still call it Twitter. And she was hilarious, and God, just a great person. So this episode is dedicated to you, Miss Dolly Parton. Well, coffee time is back. I should always make sure that I have the mouth hole turned towards me when I pick it up. Coffee time is back. Remember, I couldn't do it yesterday because I had my doctor's appointment yesterday. But coffee time is back. Good stuff. Today is Tim Hortons today, which I had a couple days ago. Excuse me. But great coffee. I'm enjoying my new brand of coffee. Well, new for me, but I've had it before, but new in my rotation. I'm going to give me another one this weekend, and if I can find a 12 box of, I may go with something like I don't know, is Maxwell House still out there? I don't know. But I will get that, or I'll get Folgers. One of the two. I will make sure that I have one of those this weekend. But yes, this morning is Tim Hortons Maple. Well, I got back my results. I went to the doctor yesterday, the 25th, and I guess this morning about 2 o'clock, my results, I received an email that I had results, so I went to the app. And I said on the previous episode that I would be transparent on my results. Well, for me, the main one to check is the diabetes, and I was the A1C, I believe. And I am taking Manjaro, and took my injection last night, and this is my first injection in about a month, just because of insurance. But I took my injection last night, and like this morning, my appetite is just, it's not dead, but it's just done, because it really suppresses my appetite, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining about that. But but it said that I don't remember the exact number. It was 5.5, something like that. But it was below the cutoff line, and it said absence of diabetes. So that means that when I wasn't on the Manjaro, I was doing something right. So now I just need to maintain that. I believe it was a 5.5. I need to take that number and bring that number down. That just lets me know that I know what to do, but it's just a matter of me actually going out and doing it. I haven't checked everything else, but I always go to that one first, because that, to me, is one of the most important. But I'll check cholesterol and all that other stuff tomorrow. I mean, when I get to work. But I am very happy that one is lower. So yay for me. So today I just wanted to talk about my childhood and childhood memories. My parents moved into the house I grew up in. I want to say 73 or 74 is one of the two. And to this day, my parents still live in that house. I wasn't born in that house. I was born in 71. But for me, I call this house the house I grew up in, or the house that I was born in, but I wasn't. And we had a great childhood. Our house was the house that had all the balls, the bats, the jump ropes, the basketball goal, and it's where all the kids, and in the neighborhood it was about eight of us, and we had so much fun playing, be it playing football in the street, playing hide and go seek, and riding bikes, and pretty much everyone moved into that neighborhood about the same time, and they had kids, and to this day I'm friends with all of them. We live in a world now of excuse me, transplants. People always moving in and out. Renters come and go. There was a house across the street from us, a house at an angle to us. Next to my parents' house, it was open field for years, but on the other side of the open field was another house, and we had a community of between those four houses, especially the one right across the street and the one on the other side of the field. And just growing up and just going across the street, to see the Andersons, and they had two boys. The oldest was my age, the youngest was my sister's age. So essentially we all grew up together. And Mr. Anderson died in the early 2000s, and Miss Anderson died 2 months ago. But just to have, for my parents to have those friendships for over 50 years. And this was literally different era. We had a key to the Andersons' house, and Andersons had a key to our house. And whenever, I was the one that lost the key. I always know that it was that the Andersons had a key. And if my mother needed, I know this is so cliche, a cup of sugar or some flour or something, we can always go across the street because we had that type of relationship. Those relationships in 2026 really are not there. Really are not there. Times have changed. Now we have the keypads, and everyone has alarms and ring doorbells, and we were blessed to have those types of relationships. And my very first concerts, my mother and Miss Anderson took the four children. My first concert was to see Michael Jackson. This was in the 80s. It was the Off the Wall tour. And I just remember that I was just amazed by his dancing. And oddly enough, his opening act that night was Lionel Richie. So I guess about 8 to 10 years ago, Miss Anderson was going through a box or something, and she had purchased a program that night. And I was like, wow. And I don't remember why my mother didn't get one. I don't know. It was probably expensive. I say expensive, but it was probably $20 at the time. And I remember it being big, and lots of pages and pictures of Mike, and it was beautiful. I haven't seen it since that night of that concert, but I do remember that they've been a very nice program, colorful. But we had a childhood that was very good. There's always lots of laughter on the street with the kids, and when you form those type of relationships, even in the later in their later years, Miss Anderson was always at the house. Because her oldest son moved to Philadelphia. The youngest moved to Philadelphia, and the oldest one was at one time he was in Florida, and then the last 10 or so years he's been in somewhere between Austin and San Antonio. But we would invite Miss Anderson, where my mother would invite Miss Anderson over for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and she just became part of the family. And I remember one day my mother was outside, and it was hot, and she passed out in the front yard because she was messed around with the flower bed, and Miss Anderson was the one that found her. This was about 2-3 years ago, and Miss Anderson was the one that found her. Miss Anderson was the one that called 911. Miss Anderson was the one that got the ants off of her because she was near an ant bed. So having those type of relationships, people that generally care for you and you care for them, really special. I don't think we'll ever go back to that era of neighbors, because people just don't generally trust each other these days. Everyone is divided by religion, sexuality, politics. If someone is a interracial couple, people look at them crazy. But just those core neighbors, the Andersons, the Osbys, and the Reese family, they just, those special group of a special group of neighbors. So I want to thank you today for joining me in a dedication to Dolly Parton and a rollback to my childhood. I want to say thank you for watching The Good Life, or life is always good. Take care of yourself, love on one another, and peace out.